What's up, guys? I thought today, I'd talk about the three lures that got me to the next level, which is what this is about. That got me to college bass fishing, which is like such a crazy concept to me because it was like, is that next level? You know what I mean? It's like, it's what we all want to do as high school people. Maybe not all of us. Maybe some are just doing it for fun, but like, it's what a good handful of us want to do. And all of us here, we want to we go pro. You know, so that's the next. I'd say there might be like a level before that, like maybe like fishing the open super competitively. But I'd say like the real next level, like the actual like, I think the next level is pro. I mean, and that's just so crazy that I'm like so close to that. It's like it's amazing. Like I'm definitely not complaining. But yeah, so I figured to talk about the top three lures that got me here, and to start off, just say, I mean, I can't talk about just fishing, like in general, but like fishing at like a top level without including this bait. And it's a glide bait. Like, doesn't matter which one you say. This one, it's a pretty good size one. It's not the smallest in the world. This one, which I've painted because or I'm stupid, or I just felt like that meant something at the moment. This one, or this thing, and this thing's famous. Like, this thing has revolutionized the glide bait industry as a whole. But yeah, I mean the glide bait, like, look, I mean, there's some up there. Like, I'd even decorate my room with them. But it's just, it was a game changer when it first came out, like 10, 15 years ago. I was like 3 years old, so how would I know about them? But I mean, it was my game changer. Like, that changed my game. Like the way I thought about fishing as a whole. Let alone like, get me some money in some tournaments, get me a trophy or two. Like, it's just, I mean, it got me 2 trophies in the last year and a half, 2 years. I'd say like year and a quarter, year and a half, it's got me 2 trophies. And like, I take that back, it's got me 3 trophies. And you just can't, like, that's just incredible, right? I mean, it's so big, and like not that many people are doing it. I mean, people are starting to wake up. Like, don't get me wrong, people are starting to wake up. And I feel comfortable talking about this because like 200 people might see this video, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not scared to talk about it. And like and you just gotta drop a little bit of money on them, like, but they truly were a game changer in high school. Like, nobody was throwing this. I mean, a couple people were, but nobody was throwing it like people actually know how to throw them. I'm gonna say I know how to throw them like better than somebody else. Even though I do, but yeah, if you really commit yourself to this, it's hard to compete with it if you really know what you're doing. Which I haven't, like, I definitely have not perfected the glide bait, but it's just hard to beat sometimes. And the number 2 lure, like a Sienko. I mean, this isn't just for high school, right? Like, not just for high school, but I mean, just in general, like in the fishing world, there are so many tournaments won on this little stupid thing, just like a Ned rig, right? Like a Ned rig isn't that hard to make. Like, watch this. You ready? I'm about to make a Ned rig. Okay? I mean, and destroying a Sienko, I'm about to make a Ned rig. That's how easy these things are to make. Like, if you really want to, not the ideal head, right? That's a round ball jig head. Didn't have a skirt on it, right? I was just tying up some jigs. But tear a Sienko, a little bitty off a Sienko, you just put it on there. And that's how easy that is, right? It's so easy, and you can't mess it. Like, it's really hard to mess up. Really hard to mess up fishing it. And like this, okay, well, let me fix a little bit. This is a non-boater's best friend. Or a co-angler, as you might want to say it. It is someone in the back of the boat, right? Or maybe someone in the front of the boat on a cold day. Like, a great example of me being really stubborn and just not wanting to, having too much pride. which, I mean, I'm 18, like, cut me a break, but at the same time, like, I need to just be smarter than that. Last high school tournament of my life, right? And I might have some clips from that. I might throw them in here a little bit in there. But last high school tournament of my entire life, right? And weighed in some fish. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm fishing by myself too in a 2-angler thing. You know, a little padding before I say I'm stupid. But I would not pick up a Sienko. I mean, I wouldn't pick up a Ned rig, right? And I was like, or I didn't really think about a drop shot, which is what I believe it was one on, but I just didn't want to do that. I just had so much confidence because of the day before in this thing, even though there was a cold front, and I was like, if I just throw it enough, they'll eat it. And I, like, probably first 15 casts, maybe 20 casts, I had one miss that. I had one miss it at the boat, hit it, just didn't get the hooks, and that was like soul crushing. I was like, early on, you know, we're good. Just hit some really like high percentage spots. Just throw this thing, and we'll be cash money, baby. Like, it'll be easy. But it didn't turn out that way. And what did I catch my fish on? I caught my fish on a rock crawler. I did change up. I changed a lot, but I didn't try this. I didn't try this super simple, stupid thing. I know I didn't say Ned rig. I know I said Sienko, but like, I got 8th in the Missouri State Championship. Not Bassmaster. It's the side deal we have in Missouri. It's called NYFA. Great program. It's got scholarship money. It's amazing. Only complaints I have is that as a solo kid, you don't get all the scholarship money. You get your part of the scholarship money. So you do the work of 2 people. You get, for example, 8th. What I got, I think I only got $250 in scholarship money when, in my mind, I should have got 500. But that's just me being petty, right? Like, who can complain about getting scholarship money, right? For fishing, for catching fish, right? Something that have like a brain the size of a pea, right? But about that rant. Sienko. I caught most of my fish on this thing, right? Most of them. And I would bet you like my left leg that the vast majority of those fish I caught, maybe not the 2.5, maybe not the 3.5 pounder I caught, right? But the vast majority of those fish could have been caught on a Sienko or a Ned rig, right? So, I mean, I don't throw the Ned that much. I'm more of a Sienko guy, like, but just, like, you just can't beat it sometimes. Or if, like, you don't know what to throw, you just pick it up, right? And that's not saying, like, if you pick it up, you don't know what you're doing. Like, that is not what I'm saying at all. But it's just, like, you can throw this thing the entire year. Like, the entire year, you can throw this thing. This little bitty thing costs, like, $6, right? Like, if you're getting, like, name brand Sienkos, it's, like, $8. Might cast a few off. Get 2 Sienko rings. Like, it's an investment. Like, you're getting 2 Sienko rings, you're not going to cast that off. You're not going to lose it to a fish, more than likely. But, you know, if you go, like, cheap, I say cheap, spend $3 on a pack of Yum dingers, like, you're just not going to cast those things off as often as you cast off a Sienko. But, like, a Sienko, like, you just can't beat it. Like, I mean, you can beat it, but it is one of the most consistent lures on the market, right? Next to a jig. I don't know if you guys heard that. Someone just screamed. But, yeah, next to where's a good jig? This one. We had a flipping contest at Jury, and this was the jig I was flipping with. I did not win. Did not win. You know, a little bit of excuse. Just came after rugby practice, right? But, yeah, but this was the jig I was flipping. But, like, a jig it's not going to be on the list. Say honorable mention, right? Because you can't, like, talk about consistency and just best lures to throw in a tournament if you don't say a jig. But, like, a jig is, like, the second best, next to a Sienko. And, you know, a little plug in here. Croc Gator jigs, that's what this is, right? I recently tested them out on Taneycomo, that's what this is. This one caught a fish. They catch fish, believe it or not, right? But, yeah, like a Sienko, like, it's just, you going behind somebody. If I was going behind somebody and they were throwing a jig or they were throwing a whopper blubber, right? Like you name anything that isn't a Sienko or a Ned rig, I pitch a Sienko up there, I got like 10 out of 10 confidence that I am going to catch a fish. Like, whether it's because I'm hitting spots that they really can't with that jig they're throwing, or with that anything they're throwing, I can just skip up there with the Sienko. Like, I just go do a spinning run, right? But or if it's because they're like super power fishing and I'm like power finesse fishing, right? And I'm like right up under that dock, and I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no bite, reeled in, right? Like the 3 casts under that dock, maximum 15 seconds, and I'm around the dock, right? Other side, or I'm casting the corner of the dock, letting it fall down for like 3 seconds as I'm just buzzing around. Like, they can't do that with their jig. I mean, they can, but it's not the same presentation. Or they're just not, like, I wouldn't say not locked in or not committed enough, but they're just not like thinking they should hit the corner of those docks, whether in like 80 foot or 8 inches, right? Like, that's cover. The fish are going to be, unless the fish is bigger than 8 inches tall, which is like that's a pretty tall fish. So like a 2.5 pounder could be sitting up under that dock, or it could be sitting just right off that dock because it's covered. Anyway, stupid little rant. Like a Sienko, like, you should have confidence with a Sienko behind anybody in the world, right? Unless it's like Takahiro Mori, who is throwing the Sienko, or Gary Yamamoto, or John Cox, right? Like, those are just people who do that in shallow water and power it. Like, they're not scared of that. And you shouldn't be scared of that. Like, you should like embrace that, right? Because you can just make those casts, and you're just getting a different presentation that more than likely nobody else is getting. And it catches those same fish. Or it catches like that one fish that went up to that jig, and it was like, your jig's sitting there, and the fish is like, but it fell a little bit too fast. Your fish is right here, go jig, and it's like, not really in that mood, right? But your Sienko is going like, it's like, oh, right? It's just some fishing psychology. But yeah, like a Sienko number 2 lure that helped me in my college journey, right? I love that thing. The number 3 lure, or like maybe genre, because like these last things, like I said Sienko specifically, like I guess genre of lure, because that was a glide bait. But number 3 lure would be a small crankbait. I have one here, and I would like here, like right here, a wiggle wart. Like that's my bait. Like when I'm talking small crankbait, just think in your head wiggle wart. It's about the size of a wiggle wart. Like not at all what a wiggle wart is. That's like a Norman D or something. But yeah, wiggle wart. I mean, love that thing to death. Like, I'll say, like, I'm more of a rock crawler guy, but there's someone very close to me in my life. I'm not gonna say who it is. It's probably pretty obvious, but there's someone very close to me that like beats you on a wiggle wart any day of the week, right? I mean, obviously not any day of the week, like summer, that crap, but like if there's a wiggle wart fish out there that wants to eat, he'll pick it up and he'll smoke you. Like, it's just that crazy. And I think those same fish or more fish can be caught on like any of that style, right? Like maybe there's some days that they're just eating like a Spro Little John or whatever this thing is. What is it? It's like the Ducket, like flat-sided shad crankbait, right? I won that thing in like a raffle. But not saying it's bad, not saying you shouldn't buy it, right? Just saying, no, I did not buy that. But I cover my bases. But yeah, like a wiggle wart, like, love that thing. Like, I'm not gonna get into like the underground like market of wiggle warts, but like the one you pick up off the shelf of any tackle shop, it's gonna catch fish. Might not catch fish as some of the other ones out there, but I mean it's not horrible. And same thing for like a rock crawler, like one of my favorite lures. That thing caught me. We had bull shoals earlier this year. Love that thing. Like everybody was using a rock crawler. I mean, for good reason too. It's not because everybody was using a rock crawler they weren't eating it. Everybody was using a rock crawler and everybody was catching fish. Like it was really hard if you're throwing a rock crawler on any bank, you're not catching fish. That's just like how how consistent that bait is. Like last year, I think I threw it from October, like maybe like October, mid-October. I think it was like early November though, to like early April, and I was catching really nice fish on that. Like I think me and this person, I'm not gonna say who it is, but hold on one second. Me and this person had a fantastic day, like an amazing day. I think we had somewhere like in the ballpark of 30 pounds, like give or take a pound, and it was just an amazing day. But yeah, like a Wigglewort, that was like the thing. Like it's like I haven't caught fish on it. Like I just said, like I've caught fish on like 2 of my fish on a rock crawler last month, and that's not because I was dumb and throwing it when it was 80 degrees. It was just you just get that gut feeling, and you're like, I need to throw it now. Like I need to throw a rock crawler right now, and you just have to listen to that gut instinct. Like if you've been fishing enough, you just get those feelings like I feel like I should throw a glide bait right now. Pick up a glide bait. I feel like I should throw a rock crawler right now. Pick up a rock crawler, right? And whether the water is like 40 degrees or whether the water is like 82 degrees, if you get that gut feeling and you listen to it and you like learn how to listen to it, you're gonna catch fish. And that's like a whole nother topic, like the gut feeling. But yeah, like that third lure is just like it's just a rock crawler or a Wigglewort or a Spro Little John, right? Like I don't throw it. I might have just said something that doesn't even compare to what we're talking about. But like that thing is just that little like bitty, like, or I think 6th Sense makes one. Everybody makes one. I think 6th Sense has a good one maybe. There's like this JDM one. We don't need to get into that. But yeah, it's just an amazing lure, and it's just something you need to have. Like from October to April, like I said, and have one in the tackle box, have one just thrown in the boat, in the floorboard of the boat, in that little cup holder by the step, you know what I'm talking about, little cup holder by the step. Just have one in there and be ready, because like you're gonna catch fish on it, no matter what time you throw it.